let's get started. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Introducing, interviewing, Missy D Interviews Constellation. Hi, everyone. We are back with a special edition of Missy D Interviews number 6, special edition. My name is Missy D, you see in her pronouns, and I'm joining you from the unceded tradition and ancestral of Eastern people. And today we'll be speaking with some stellar folks living on the land of the Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Musqueam. I think it's time to acknowledge that the land that you're on, the people that are around you, and as we reflect on all the things happening in the world and in our community, I want to dedicate this episode. Yes, Missy D Interviews is all about shining the light on the people that you see on my screen, left, right, up, down, and the dreams, the realities, the stars, the moons, the community builders. So for this episode, let's talk constellation. The constellation is a collective bringing together of local events, organizers to help musicians and fans alike more of what they want to see. If you love live music, you want to meet some of the people who are making it the constellation, why be a star when you can be a constellation? So, Wednesday, August 10th, maybe show up to Gilton Co. and meet some wonderful folks like the likes of Emeraldosagie, Miguel Maravilla, Adewolf, Curated by Ice Cream Truck Live. And while you wait for them, you're looking at them right on my screen right now. The folks that will be performing on that stage. And without further ado, Missy D Interviews Constellation. Emerald, Osagie, Adewolf, Miguel Maravilla, how y'all doing today? Okay, what's up, y'all?
Big ups for the intro right there.
Yeah.
You came ready. You came ready.
Yeah, I feel special.
Right, that's you. Thanks so much for joining me this fine morning. We were talking about putting our morning face on, whatever that means, whether that's drinking water, stretching, or just, getting into our morning selves. But for today, I want to get to meet all of y'all. I know I talked a little and named some people, but my first pre-question for today is just, how would you introduce yourselves to the people watching right now? So I'll start off with Emerald. Who are you and how do you introduce yourselves to people?
My name is Osagie. I am a singer-songwriter from Vancouver, BC. And just kind of making music, living, laughing, loving, doing what I love to do best. Yeah.
We love that and we support that. Adewolf, who are you and what do you want the people to know about you?
Yes, my name is Adewolf. Born Lagos, Nigeria. Now based in Vancouver, BC. Just love making music, having fun, creating art, so thankful to be here, doing that. So it is.
Let's go. Representing Nigeria today, all the way back from the motherland now to Vancouver. We love it. Miguel, who are you?
Loaded question. I'm a Filipino. Oh God, I hate saying like multidisciplinary artist, but I do a bunch of fun things, however the day calls for it. And I'm also an activist, a community organizer. And yeah, I make noises.
You do, and you do it well. I was watching your show this morning, and I was like, "Yo, you're your own band. Like, you got everything happening." I was like, "I'm definitely jealous. I wish I had all those skills to do it all by myself and do it."
Yeah, just all the right buttons.
Yeah, that's right. Well, today we're gonna get to know you all a little bit more. Probably, yeah, it's true. Who are you is a big loaded question. We should have at least more than an hour to talk about that. So I'm gonna ask you some fun questions just to get to know a little bit of where you're coming from, what inspires you, who you wanna be, who you want to give a shout out to. That's kind of the premise of the show. But to start off, I'm going to go with our first question, because the reason I started this was just to check in with people. So my first question is called What's Up and What's New? So just let me know how you're doing. I'll start with Adewolf. Like, how are you today? What have you been up to? Are you performing? You got some projects coming up? This is your moment to plug whatever's coming up, but also how you're doing today.
Okay. Yeah. Yo, how I'm doing, I'm just blessed, grateful, just to be able to be, to be able to make music and create whatever. Currently Locals Lounge on Wednesday, come through. That's if you're, I'm guessing you might be watching this after the show, but hey, time travel. Fun fact, I just watched Tenant by Christopher Nolan, and I understood nothing about the movie. Sorry, just a sidebar, which is all about time travel. But yes, I finished a project. It's called Nostalgia, where I pretty much talk about, also some type of time travel to my memories, going back to just being raised in Lagos and growing up and, just being lost in nostalgia. So it's just a 6-song project, hoping to release it. And yeah, I got a chance to, kind of self-direct the video, and kind of also have another video as well, that I'm working with Deva Muset, who's a director as well. And yeah, and yeah, so I'll say that's pretty much my major thing. Yeah, maybe I should pass it on before I start blabbing for long periods of time.
No, I love it. You gotta big up yourself. So I'm for it. I love hearing the projects that are coming. Of course, the show. Hopefully, this interview will be out later today, so people will
Oh,
see
okay.
this.
Also, Sound Therapy. I am performing on Sound Therapy on August 20th. And yeah, it's basically I think it was kind of made by Sad China Sunny, and it's just a safe space for different people, different backgrounds, different genders, and safe space for everyone to, therapy through sound. So yeah, come through.
So, love to hear that. Okay, we got some dates. Hopefully, I'll put them maybe in the description later today. I'm gonna pass the mic. Let's pass it back to Emerald. What's up and what's new in your life?
Just been working on a bunch of music. I feel like it's either I'm making music or I am listening to music. So like I just got back from San Francisco, like probably like a couple hours ago. And I went to Outside Land, so I was like enjoying all the music there, and that was super fun. But as far as myself, just making music. Hopefully, we'll have a new single coming out by the end of August, and then I have Locals Lounge, Guilt and Co. Super excited to be performing with all of you, and just making music.
Making music, living music, listening to music. I
All
love
the
to hear that. Miguel, what have you been up to? What's new and what's up?
Oh my God. Yeah, I have a bunch of shows for this month. Guilt and Co. August 10, of course, why we're here. August 12th, I'm playing at the Fox Cabaret with one of my best friends, Prado. I'm also playing at this like experimental music festival at Galliano Island on August 21, so I can like go crazy. And then another thing at the end of the month. But yeah, a lot of live stuff, preparing for a lot of music. I haven't really put anything out, so I have like 5 years worth of music I need to push out there. So that's kind of the battle I'm going through. But all good things.
We're here to support. We're here to hype you up. We've been waiting, but we have shows to attend. So if people are waiting and they're like tired, we got shows to attend while you do your thing. But hey, we'll be here. We'll be ready to listen and YouTube it, or whatever digital streaming platform you decide to put it on. I love to hear that. I love to hear music. Like, this is so different. The IG version of this in 2020 to hearing people be like, yo, I got this and I got this and I got this. It was like, yo, I'm at home. That's what's up. I'm working on music. I'm figuring out who I am. So it's nice to see the evolution of creatives in the city. So I'm happy for all of y'all. I'm gonna go to the second round. The second one is called Through the Wire, to the limit, through the wall. And then let me do. I'm ready, let's get on. La, 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 la. To sing at 9 a.m. in the morning is hard. So I'm gonna cut that real short. But this is Through the Wire by Shaka Khan. You might know it by Kanye West. Through the Fire, sorry, by Shaka Khan. Through the Wire by Kanye West. An amazing sample. I named this round Through the Wire because we're gonna go through time, you know. Adewolf was talking about traveling, so we're gonna time travel together. And I'm gonna give you a random year. I don't know your ages, but hopefully it's within your ages. And you can let me know a highlight that happened that year, something that stood out that year, something you remember from that year, maybe the setting where you were. But then sometimes you don't like certain years. So I preface, if it's a year that you're like, yo, D, I'm trying to move on, you can be like, pass. And I will pass to the many years that are around us. And it's okay. I won't fact check, so you can also lie if you can't remember what happened that year. But don't do it. Speak from the heart. Speak from the heart. Right. I will start with Emerald. Let me give you. What were you up to in 2009?
2009. Okay, 2009. I was probably, actually, you know what? I don't know if it's from 2009. Maybe it is. I have a photo on my fridge right now, and it's like my school photo. And it's around that time. Let's say it's from 2009-ish. But I made my first like demo and on my mom's windows. And I would get my mom to be like, please let's go buy blank CDs. Like, let's go get blank CDs. And I would record with I think it was my mom's like BlackBerry or something like that. And I would like somehow be able to, anyway, I recorded my first song called Popcorn. It's right there on my fridge. I remember it was like popcorn's on the couch, falls between the cushions. Like it was, but that was probably, yeah, it's like yum, yum, yum. Popcorn tastes so good. So probably making my little demos out of my school pictures. Yeah.
Let's go. First of all, I think you need to like repack that, maybe license it. I don't know what's his name.
Popcorn's gotta come back. Yeah.
Whatever brand. That's dope. Okay, 2009 you. I like that. Well, we're gonna time travel a little bit back. And I'm gonna go to Miguel. Miguel, what were you up to in 2005?
Oh my God, 2005. Well, I was 9 in 2005. And I think just getting my bearings on the world, like, because my family immigrated just a few years before that from the Philippines. So I think like, yeah, I think maybe that was the time when I started really like getting more like comfortable with understanding where I really was or where I would end up for, you know, the foreseeable future. And I think like, I didn't really like, I feel like I didn't have like a meaningful, I didn't come up with meaningful thoughts until I was like late into high school. So I think just the general feeling of like, this is where I'm gonna be now. And I think there's a lot of baggage to unpack there, but I think there are a lot of beautiful things to experience and see, even like from as young as like 9 years old. But yeah.
Meaning making. I hear that. Yeah. I was like 9-year-old me, same. We're figuring out things. Meaning making still today. I was like figuring out things. So Shout out to 9-year-old you figuring out, where you are, your place in the environment or the household or whatever space you're in at that time. So I appreciate you sharing a little bit about that. Adewolf, we're gonna travel back into the future, but not really. Actually, I'm gonna switch it up on you. We're gonna travel to the future.
Okay.
So 2032.
Oof.
Where would Adewolf be? Or where do you want to be?
Oof. 2032. So that is, so we're currently at 10 years from now. All right. Hmm. I would, or yeah, I see Adewolf as, I would love to help a bunch of people. Yeah, that would be great for me. I would love to, see myself in a place where I have invented something that has in some way created, just made people feel better in general. Do I know what it is? I do not know. And again, that could be music. That could be a music project. That could be a collaboration with someone. I would definitely love to, create something, hopefully sonically, that, just makes people want to be their better selves and just be better humans. Because I feel like that's a lot I talk about in the kind of music I make. Um, you know, just that kind of motivation. And, yes, I would have met Kanye West by then and we'll be like, hopefully do like a Adewolf Yeezy collab kind of thing. Then hopefully, yeah. And just the regular dreams of um, I got my, got a song on top 10 Billboard, got a Grammy plaque, baby, all the way. Yeah. And yeah, just and happy. I want to be happy, man. Just personally, like just be happy with wherever I am or whatever I decide to do. That's it.
Let's manifest that. I stretched it out. You talked about time traveling. I was like, I have never asked people about the future. So here we are seeing what,
Switch it up on me, man. Sheesh.
yeah, no, what might be, I think what might be, no, let me rephrase that. What is on the horizon? Who knows?
Mm.
Phone number in your phone, some Grammys, some plaques. And I want to say you're already stepping into it because I've seen you perform and I think you do make us feel good. So
Appreciate that. Thank you.
already that in the works. So I'm like, hey, 10 years from now, I think you're getting closer to that destination more than you think.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, I like that. 2009, 2005, 2032. Sounds so weird to the saying that. I know it's coming up, but yeah, see y'all in 2032. Yeah, somehow. I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go to round 3 because time is moving by too fast. Round 3 is called that thing, that thing, that thing. So it's a rapid fire question, some fun fact questions. So rapid fire, whatever comes to mind. I'll say a name. You can tag the next person if you want to surprise them. So I'll start off. Let's go with Miguel. Miguel, what's one thing that's your pet peeve?
Ooh, pet peeve. Shoes in my house after the doorway. Where like me and my partner are like meticulous about cleaning the floor. So when the shoes get past this like imaginary line I've drawn out, it's I need a bit of a talking to. So my friends are very disciplined in that. I'll pass it to Adewolf.
Pet peeve. Oh man, I hate like screeching like glass. Like, when I hear like glass screeching or like these kind of like or scratching my freshly cut nails on basically some kind of static surface that is, yeah, that gets me. And wet socks. Yes. Yes. Totally me. Pass it on to the queen. Emerald.
Thank you. I would have to agree with the wet socks thing. That's absolutely not okay.
Worst.
And then, yeah, absolutely not okay. And then my like biggest pet peeve is mostly for myself. I just hate being late. Like, I personally, it makes me sad. No shame to any of you, but I can't, like, literally no shame, but I can't. Like, I will literally, if me myself as Emerald is late, I'm like, the whole day, I'm just like, oh, like, and I can't handle it. So just as me, love you all.
No shade, no shade. Nah, everybody's got their own thing. It's a impressive quality. I wanna have that as my pet peeve now.
What is your pet peeve, Missy D? I'm
That's my
curious now.
pet peeve. Ooh. Honestly, it's more like I don't know if it's a pet peeve. I always say entitled people. Like that's usually the first thing that comes to mind.
That should be a standard, honestly.
Yeah.
But like I think whenever when you're just I usually just like to observe people when you're like at a coffee shop or something, and if I notice like a customer that like is just I don't know, if you were on the other side you wouldn't want to be treated that way, then I'm like, yeah, it annoys me. And I don't get angry often, but that's the only moment I'm like, I want to say something. And then I sometimes say something, or sometimes I'm just like, try to be nice to whoever is on the other side. But I don't know if that counts as a pet peeve. Otherwise, yeah, wet socks, you had me at that. I was like, yes, I hate that.
It's interesting. That's a universal thing. Yeah, I guess I'm just noticing. How about you, Miguel? What's wet socks? Are you
Oh God, I think like if you live in Vancouver, you're gonna agree. Wet socks are atrocious. Yeah.
That's probably it. Yeah, you're right. All the rain that we go through, you're like, oh yeah, like whenever I come home and I'm like, why? I need to get better shoes. It's that. Ooh, I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go to another one thing. Actually, what's one thing you do every morning or every day? Since we started this in the morning. Let's go with Adewolf.
one thing I do every day. Oh man. I'm I I I want to be more consistent. I feel like I'm usually like all over the place. Uh um thing I do every You know what? One thing I definitely do every day is drink tea. I'm a tea guy. Yeah. Tea, yes, yeah. I feel like I definitely need like tea some way or some form. Yeah. That's what I'd say.
Let's pass it to Emerald. What's one thing you do every morning or every day?
Honestly, I feel like my life is just very chaotic. So nothing is the same. But probably listen to music. Like at some point every single day, there's always music playing or I'm making music. So definitely listening to music or making a playlist. I have like 100 and something playlists because I just love making them. So, and I'll pass it to Miguel.
Yeah, I think super inconsistent, but one thing I try to enjoy every day, which just brings me back to like my hometown, is like instant 3-in-1 coffee with condensed milk, and just like having that. Yeah, it's just like such a unique experience, and it's usually like really cheap and like low quality, and it just hits a different part of me that like no like artisanal coffee downtown or whatever it could give. So that's the morning. That's a fulfilling morning when I have my 3-in-1.
I feel like you don't really see a lot of condensed milk, yeah, in Yeah, condensed milk is definitely me back home. I used to definitely have a lot of condensed milk, but here I feel like most of the milk is like the jug, in the fridge. Kind of.
TNT,
TNT. That's
$5 a can.
Look how plug it in, plug it in, plug it.
Mm.
TNT, where's the sponsorship? We're hired. Uh, I love it. Yeah, you hit a sweet spot. I was like, oh, home condensed milk. Wow. I was like, I haven't had that in a while. I'm gonna ask you two more one thing questions. Let's go with what's one thing you would do if you weren't an artist? I'm gonna go back, actually, let's go back to Miguel. What's one thing you would do if you weren't an artist?
Ooh, that's hard. I think I'd want to do a lot of things. I'd want to be a full-time activist, probably like move back to the Philippines. Or if not, like other creative things, like, I don't know, making video games. Well, it ends up being like other kinds of art. So I don't want to cheat on that. Yeah, I don't know. I did drop out of uh, BCIT for accounting. So maybe if I wasn't an artist, maybe I'd go back and try to wrap that up. So there's an option. Emerald?
I would, well, I'm in school right now at UBC Okanagan for teaching. So probably a teacher. But yeah, I feel like regardless, that question is very hard because I'd be like, oh, I want to teach music or I'd want to, but definitely I love children. So something with kids and teaching and stuff like
Hmm, cool. Um, I don't know. Yeah. What would I want to do that's not like artsy? Um, yes, maybe I should have already thought of something, but don't know why it's hard. Um, I would say, yeah, maybe I would just want to maybe sports. Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, I always like football, soccer. Yeah, maybe might have taken that more seriously. Yeah, soccer, definitely playing football.
Hey, and you know what? I know it's a hard question. I'm a hypocrite sometimes. I don't like this question. I ask it, I'm like, why would I not put that in your future? So I appreciate how hard it is to be like, yeah, but no, like it's still gonna be creative, or it's still gonna involve art in it, or different forms of art. And soccer is a form of art in many ways. So
I guess I feel that question.
no. It's to me it is. To me it is. But it is a
Right.
sport, I guess. It's I appreciate all the answers. My last one thing questions for y'all is what's one thing you do before or after performance? One thing you do before or after performance. And we're gonna start with, let's go with Emerald.
Well, I just had my first performance as like just me performing my own songs this year in May. And so that was like my first time. Yeah. And so I think before the show, I think I just kind of paced around and like was freaking out. And then after, me and my friends had a couple drinks. So probably just that.
Very familiar moments. Adewolf, what about you?
Before performance, I would say just, maybe warm-ups, a bit of, get body flowing a bit more, shake it up. Uh, just yeah, I would say warm-ups. After performance, oh man, yeah, maybe I just sometimes just like talking to people there, uh, just seeing like uh maybe how they felt the performance was, or just generally talking to people. Yeah. And dancing. Yeah, man. Yeah. I feel like after a performance, I have like a lot of energy. I just want to, express myself even more. Yeah. then super nervous at the start of the performance. Yeah, I'm just like, pacing, definitely. I'm just like moving everywhere, like, oh shit, how about I mess it up? But yeah, that's me.
I've seen you on that dance floor, so Miguel.
Yes.
Yeah, nah, the show was amazing, and then I was like, took it. I was like, oh, okay, I see where this energy is coming from. Miguel, what about you?
I don't do anything before the performance except like not eat and just like dissociate entirely. And then after, usually shows are in the evening, so like I won't be eating all day, and then right after I just have like a huge meal, and and then call it a day. Like it's like my stomach hurts from not eating all day, and then it's like grab a donair or like I don't know, whatever, and it feels so good. It's like my soul is fed, and then my stomach is fed after the show, and it's like such a good combo.
Okay, now y'all know everybody's routine. So for the show on Wednesday, you can support one another. Maybe if you see Emerald pacing around, you're not like, whoa, what's happening? She's finding her routine, she's finding her steps and her rhythm. Adewolf is gonna be like, maybe doing some warm-ups for me. You want to join in, do some harmonies, help him out. Maybe warm up yourself. And then Miguel, maybe you want to like help him order that food so that he gets ready. So it's like, as he prepares to like feed his soul, he's like, yeah, I know what I'm ordering right after the show though. Guilt and Co, please support this artist and the food he needs. So that's why I asked that question.
Get that donair, man. Donair, dude. That's get that plug in there.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
Oh, so good.
Down the road.
I love to hear that. I'm gonna go to round 4. We got 2 more rounds to go. Round 4 is called I Am Made of Stars, Stars, Stars. And it's a song by a local artist, a good friend of mine named Kimortal. It's about the stars that are around us. This constellation idea made me think of that song often, that I'm surrounded by talented people, some people that I don't know, some people that are connected to people that I do know. And I'm more like, yo, is everybody just talented? Yeah, is this the thing? And maybe it is. So the reason I put this round is for you to tell us about the people who've inspired you, maybe in the past. We heard Kanye there. Maybe the people that are inspiring you right now, maybe it's the sounds of Kadeem Tyrell, or maybe the people that you want to give a shout out to. Like I heard you say Prado. So like, the stars that are among you, but the stars that have inspired you. And it doesn't have to be just musicians, maybe it's even people within your family. So that's what I Am Made of Stars is all about. So I'm gonna pass it. Let's go with Miguel. You're made of stars.
Oh.
What are those shout outs you want to give?
Oh my god, there's so many. I've met like 100 geniuses like in like this last year. Yeah, of course. One of my best friends, Prado, like I've been making music with her since we were like in high school. Kimortal, I'm helping them out with their new project, and like just seeing that, and they made like a music video yesterday, and it was like kind of a community call out, so a bunch of people were involved. Yeah, just so many geniuses. I'm sort of in another artist's band, Troll Dolly. She makes like incredible folk adjacent stuff, and she has a show on Tuesday. And like so many more people who are really, like I could list like dozens of names, but they're people who've been making music like really quietly and never really like publicized it, but now they're all like kind of coming out of the woodwork, and I'm just like meeting them on accident, or they reach out to me, and it's just like so much beautiful music that doesn't really have any like established like platform or like a amplified voice, but it's like starting to bubble up, and it's so beautiful to be inspired by like all of this just like next door, or like a block down. And like that's really what keeps me going these days.
Love those shout outs. And I can't wait to listen to all these wonderful artists and creatives. Adewolf, who are the big shout outs that you want to give, or the people who have inspired you?
Yes. Yeah, maybe I'll start from the inspiration for sure. You know, Yeezy. Yeah, that's maybe pre I'll say the old Yeezy though. Maybe not so much the new one. Yeah, I'll say definitely inspired by just being that artistic force. You know, yeah, I'm also like Drake. Drake is definitely just him being musician and just you know what he's done with his label as a individual and also I used to live in Toronto, so um you know just that kind of Toronto energy. um then yeah, definitely I'm definitely inspired by like art, man, just like general artists, you know I watched like quite a bit of anime, um and you know, some directors like, you know, Satoshi Kon. If you haven't seen Paprika, yeah, give it a watch. Really amazing show, movie. And yeah, just like anime in general. Yeah, big ups, you know, definitely imagination, just getting things out of nowhere, I think is great for me. For you know, locally, I would say, man, yeah, you know, it's kind of beautiful to see like all the amazing talent, you know, my band for sure. Like, you know, I wouldn't be able to do stuff without my crew, the tribe in the building, you know, just support, even just, you know, learning how to do things on a daily basis and just the encouragement to want to keep doing it, you know, and they're all amazing musicians and part of multiple bands themselves. You know, I'll say, you know, and also a band I kind of work with too, the Supermarket Social with Bo Henrik, you know, they're amazing as well. They do great stuff, you know. I think even um I was at the VMF event at the Biltmore. Missy D was there as well. And even seeing like Nada, you know, killing it, that kind of energy, you know, it feels like a movement right there. And, you know, and dancers as well, you know, just like it's seeing those dancers, you get inspired by the way they move. And I love that Vancouver is a real like heavy on movement and like different forms of dance. So, and, you know, even from like yoga to more so, you know, hip hop and all these, you know, ballroom. And I definitely feel like, you know, just going to Robson Square and just sitting down and watching people do their thing is super fun for me. And yeah, family, just in general, man. You know, most of my family, all of my family is back in Nigeria and other places in the world. So you know, just those weekly calls and getting touching base and seeing how everyone is, you know, thriving and figuring out life. And you know, it's always great to have them there to give encouragement and you know just help you move, especially in times when you know you're not as motivated or encouraged to want to make and do things. Yeah.
Love all those shout outs, from family to the people who've inspired you, to the local stars that we have among us, including yourselves on this call. Emerald, who are the stars you want to shout out?
Again, there's so many, so many. But definitely family. Like my mom, also being out as well from Nigeria as well. Like just family and like um, friends. I know one of my friends, Cora Leith, is also a musician and she's incredible. And so just getting to like talk with her, work with her, see how she's doing is incredible. And yeah, as far as musicians, there's so many like Lauren Hill, and it's all like all over the place. It goes from like Lauren Hill to like Ben Howard, who are very completely opposite. But I just love how like Ben Howard is as an artist, the way he plays guitar and the way his lyrics are incredible. So yeah, just like lyrics, even like movies. I find myself recently, I've been into a lot of movies and just like getting one liners from movies and like making songs out of that concept. Um, I did that recently with this Will Smith movie. Now I'm forgetting what it's called, but um, it was really, really good. And he talks about time and how like time is an enemy, but it's also kind of a friend. And I was like, oh, all right, Will Smith. And so I kind of tried to make a song out of that and stuff like that. So yeah, I get a lot of inspo from quotes, movies, family, friends, my own like life experiences, whatever I go through. I feel like a lot of my music comes out through that and my own experiences. But yeah.
Dropping some gems. I'm like, that's a good songwriting exercise that I've never thought about. Like I watch all these shows. Netflix takes all my money.
Honestly, do it. Like podcasts, TV shows. I'm like, y'all are making me think, and I'm trying to write a song. So
Okay, I'm very inspired by that answer. I might do that this week. Who knows? We're coming to one of my favorite rounds because it's the round where I have to do the least amount of work, I think. It's called Flip It and Reverse It. It's your birthday, yeah, it's your birthday, yeah. So of course, Missy D loves Missy Elliott. Long story short. But this round is called Flip It and Reverse It because I've asked you all these questions. But I wanted to have one round where you get to ask each other one question. So I'm gonna give you some time here to think about a question. Maybe you've heard something about the call. Maybe there's something on your mind that you're like, oh, Missy, you should have asked this question. And you can ask each other that question today. So everybody will get one question and then everybody will answer that question. So who's feeling ready? Who's got a question on their mind and heart?
Can I ask a different question for Emerald and Adewolf?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. For Emerald, how do children inspire you in your music?
That's a good question. I would say that I find when I write music from that kind of perspective or just being inspired by children, kids' eyes are very like innocent and just like trying to live, like genuinely trying to live, and they don't care about anything else but enjoying life and eating dirt and being kids. Like, and so it's just so beautiful, like looking through their eyes. And I remember like I used to work at a daycare, and one of the kids was like kind of the bad kid, I guess you could say. Like he was known as that. And he once, like he did something and I was like, why'd you do that? And he was like, oh, well, I'm known as the bad kid. And he's like 7. And I was like, what? So like even their like little brains as like small and like, oh, they don't know much as we think. They know so much and they pick up on a lot. And so yeah, getting to know their perspectives and stuff is incredible. And I feel like it makes for incredible songwriting. So yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. Adewolf, I'm curious, how much do you incorporate like the sense of like your connection with home? I guess like because for me, I'm frequently considering like my hometown, my home country. I wonder in terms of music, is that something that you constantly pull from, or is it something that has a lot of distance for you?
Cool. Yeah, nice question. I think it's just default, it's just my foundation as a human. I lived longer in Lagos than I lived anywhere else in the world. Yeah, it's just a foundation. And I think it is friction or conflict in some sense because of, is who I am and where I'm coming from and who I am becoming, being in a new environment. And I think that is something I am constantly, it's like when I say something in a particular way, sometimes when I'm writing a song, it's like, maybe I'm just rhyming and it's like, oh, how is it going? Then I'm like, oh, should I say it that way? Or should I say it like, hey, what's in the happen? Which is like pidgin in Lagos. Or I'm like in Yoruba, I'm like, Kilon shele. I'm like, and those are three different ways to say a similar thought, So it's sometimes a friction, and which is a blessing. And I think, as they say, friction generates fire and like heat. So but yeah, sometimes too is like, just a dilemma. I guess I'm still figuring it out as I go. But yeah, it's such a default setting in me, knowing more so is just, how I want to say what I want to say. That is usually the difficult part of it. Is like, how do I want to say this, or at this moment in this time, I would say. But yeah, hope that makes sense.
Two great questions. I love how you're all great listeners of each other. I'm gonna pass the mic at Adewolf. I see you have questions for our folks.
Cool. Yes, you know what? I'm gonna kind of do, I think, kind of what Miguel did as well. I think it's a great way to find out. Two separate questions. First question, I'll throw it at Emerald, is I was kind of curious about your songwriting process with this film, Extraction and Thought. And I'm very curious about you. Sometimes maybe we watch a piece of film that hits us emotionally
Yeah.
in a way that is triggering, in maybe not the most positive way. I don't know if you've ever been in that kind of situation. Like me and my girlfriend, we were watching Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I think the movie itself just talks about that complicated relationship between like a mother and a daughter. And I think that for her was kind of, a
Yeah.
bit triggering because, just her relationship. And I'm curious, in times when it is not as, maybe sort of traumatic, how do you distill that energy or into, I hope I'm making sense, or you kind of
No,
get,
no, you totally are. Yeah.
yeah.
No, I completely understand. In a way, which kind of sounds a little crazy, I feel like it's easier for me if
Mm,
I'm watching something or I'm hearing something that really, really like cuts through to me. I feel like it's easier. Like most times, I'm instantly like, I'll get an idea and I need to write it down. And so it's kind of like therapy in a way. Like I'll use this example because it just happened. But I was listening to, I forget what podcast, but they were talking about meeting the right person at the right time, or like right person, wrong time, and all that stuff. And I recently just went through like this weird situation with someone who I thought we were going to basically be something. Um, and it didn't end up working out. And so I was like, oh my goodness, like what, like in terms of like timing and like when you meet someone and like you wanting something to work out, sometimes it's not necessarily the right face, wrong time. Sometimes it's just your own, like, I wanted this to happen and the universe is telling me it's not going to happen. You can't force it. And so I wrote a song that's the one that's going to come out in August, called Right Face, Wrong Time. And it's basically about that whole situation. So in a way, it's like beautiful, but it can be really difficult because like I was writing that song and you better believe I was crying in the club. Like it was not easy to write. But once I wrote it, I was like, oh, I feel really good. And maybe other people will resonate with it. If not, at least I do, you know?
makes
But
sense. Yeah. Maybe just tiny notes from, coming out of that question is, so when you write the thought, I'm curious about the process. So you catch this lightning in a bottle. Do you
yeah,
have, what is kind of your system? Do you have like a note or a book?
yeah.
Then how does that evolve to the song? Is like, do you have the instrumental playing and you riff off that thought? Just curious.
Yeah. So I usually like if I show you my phone right now, like these are all my notes.
Mm,
Like it goes forever. And then I have like a little booklet And so usually if a thought kicks in, I'll write it down like ASAP Rocky. And then I'll go to my room and I'll like play around on the guitar a little bit. Or like I recently got in contact with my guitarist who will be playing with me at Guilt and Co, Seb. He's incredible. And so I was like, Seb, like I need like a nice like R&B, but like chill vibe, like super simple. I could hear it in my head. Like usually I hear it in my head. And I was like, I something, just send me something. And he sent me kind of like a long version of what the actual track is now. And I just clipped one section. And so the whole song is just looped guitar because it's super simple. And then I just started writing. Like I just had it on loop and I would just start writing. And I think I wrote the song within like probably like 10 or 15 minutes. And now, yeah, now we're working on it and it's coming out. And yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, great. Yeah, that's such an insightful. Yeah, I love it.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll quickly send it to Miguel. Miguel, so you mentioned you have 5 years kind of amassed, and I was kind of curious about those 5 years, and because I guess we're in a world where now is like there's a lot of invisible pressure to want to put out things consistently over time and like push things out. And I'm kind of curious about that process, or from the 1 to 5, and how your thought process was like in, creating all that music.
Yeah, I've been really like hermetic and just like hidden for the last. I started making music like 7 years ago. And, it's been really quiet like the first 6 years, but yeah, I probably have like 6 albums that are tucked away, and I need to finish. And I think the biggest hurdle is just kind of coming to grips with what resources I have available and like what world I'm painting currently with the music that I've created during this time. So rather than like telling myself or feeling the invisible pressure that it needs to be of a certain quality, instead it should be like, is this like representative or emblematic of like who I am at this moment, and does it fully represent what I hope to convey, or whatever. And I think because I make all of my music myself, it's just like project after project, like 200 tracks for this like one song, and it's just like it gets overwhelming. But I think it's just like it's on me to kind of get over myself and really like kind of commit with just sharing it from a personal sense of fulfillment. I think like Emerald's little like sentence of like it resonates with me. So if if there's anyone else who ends up liking it too, then that's just a bonus. But like yeah. So my goal was to put out 6 albums by the end of this year, and I've put out one. So but I need to like put everything on streaming, and then it's like, am I gonna flood the algorithm and ruin numbers? And it's like at this point, like I'm not anybody. So if I'm just putting it out and at least sharing that, that intense emotion, then that should make me happy, and it has been. So I think that's kind of that's the ongoing thing for my music.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, I think that's a good problem to have in some ways, because a lot of people talk about brain, being like blocks, having that creative block, but at least now it's just like sorting through that beautiful kind of, things to pull out how exactly you feel. So that's great.
I'm excited for all this music that's coming, all this music that's being made from one sentences or from some moments, some therapeutic moments. Emerald, what are your questions for these fine creatives?
Okay, so I actually wrote my question down like when I messaged you guys both on Instagram. So, but my question is, which is kind of but I think it's really cool, is so where you are right now as yourself, what would you tell your like starting out musical self? Like whether it's a piece of advice or like something that you already know. Like what would you tell your initial starting phase when you were doing music now that you're you?
I can go first. I think uh like don't um don't let go of your like most honest tendencies. I'm always like thinking about like the innocence that I had when I first started making music. And as I navigated through different industries and met different people who said, this is the right way to do this, or this is what is, you know, acceptable, or like, this is what's good. And sometimes those contradict with the things that I want to express. And I feel like reminding like that first iteration of myself, like hold on to what, you know, what is most like honest with your expression, because the rest of the world will really like weather down and like kind of chip away at that honesty and innocence in like the creative process. I think like um, yeah, it's the one thing that I'm like trying to get back, or like trying to recover. Um, so yeah.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah. What I would say to that young chap is don't overthink stuff. Just, just express yourself. Because yeah, I guess when I was starting out a lot, I was in my head a lot. And definitely kind of what Miguel was saying is you're pulled left and right. This is what you should do. This is what you shouldn't do. This is how you should look. This how, all these different things. And just be like, just express yourself. Just make it, and don't no, don't overthink things too much. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that.
Some powerful words of advice, and it segues so well into the last question, because you were talking to your artist selves, and now I'm gonna challenge you to talk to yourself as the human that you are, but also to the people watching, or even to each other. I always say I hope it echoes back to you wherever you need it to be. So I've heard about the popcorn days of your life. I've heard about the meaning making projects from age 9 to now 6 projects in. Well, I've heard about the futuristic ways that Yeezy might text Ade, and Ade might be then on the dance floor, kind of expressing all that energy that he just shared on stage. So now my message is, what would you tell your younger self, or what would you tell yourself right now, or your future self, for the last round? And I'll start off with Ade. You show up on my screen right there, Adewolf.
Okay. Yes. So, yeah, man. I would say maybe the other thing I would say is just dealing with. I would say maybe a lot of things like maybe competition, or like the thought of like envy. I guess that was something I personally just kind of struggled with as a person, also coming from a very like hip hop centric environment, with like rap being a very competitive kind of macho-esque kind of, environment. And I guess is like at the end of the day, it's great as you're saying, this show is about constellations, and it's about I would say if there's anything I would say to myself, I'll say like actually envy is not a bad thing. You know what I mean? In the sense that our body in itself feels it and senses it, and it is our decision to decide what we want to do with it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, yo, because the reason why we feel it that way is because maybe we see something we want to do, or see something we aspire to, or something we hope to see in the world. And it's now like, oh, do you want to support that thing, or do you want to, push that thing forward? Or, do you want to you know, maybe stay away from that thing, because sometimes too is like, maybe that's not your thing, but you know is telling you what you shouldn't do. Is we're just complex animals in general, and I think we are able to contain multiple or complex ideas within ourselves of, like, feeling envy, but seeing like envy is actually, is a good thing. You know what I mean? In the sense that it inspires us, as they say, hate is love in reverse. And I think, that's kind of, maybe and it's something I hope to tell myself as I move forward, to the guy up there who I'm gonna, who's gonna rock things and reach his dreams, and the younger guy down there. It's like, yo, relax, keep calm, just, enjoy, and, embrace everyone making dope stuff, because I feel like every era that has changed in different forms of like art movements is a movement is not one person. A movement is a compilation of people trying to change the way thought is being made, and like way people consume art, and it changes all the time. So um yeah.
Some wise words there. I'm gonna pass it to Miguel. What would you tell your current, younger, future self?
It's hard. I think yeah, could current and future selves, I guess, like continuing to rely uh, on those around me, and for anyone else who is finding themselves more involved with like creative practice. uh, you're not the only one who's doing it. You're not the only one who faces a certain like struggle or issue or problem. Like usually it's part of like a larger system where you know uh, it's not just you who's going through it. And because of that, it's not just you who can find solutions to these problems. So I think like finding communities, finding opportunities to connect with others and strengthen each other um, through like these kinds of like really complex like constellations that come uh, out of everything. And I think finding like solace and strength uh, in these environments, and with like such an incredibly like diverse range of people surrounding us. I think that's where a meaningful change really does happen, um, in ourselves and externally too. And I think like I'm just reminding myself that every day. Um, it's been doing wonders. So I think moving forward, it's a pretty solid motto.
Maybe a future lyric, who knows? I'm gonna pass it to Emerald. What would you tell your current, younger, future self?
So as we were sitting here, I was kind of going through my notes because I have a list of quotes. So it's kind of like a note to myself, but also to you guys as well. And I would say, I forget who said it. I completely forget who said it, but it says, if you're not feeling everything, you're missing everything, which I think goes super like perfect with music, especially in the industry, because everything is so fast paced. And so I feel like I know for myself going forward, especially with shows or whether it's making music or whatever, it's just to really enjoy the moment and to be in the moment and be like, okay, right now I'm on stage and I'm performing this song and it's gonna be great. And regardless of what happens, I'm here and I did it and cool. And not to be like, okay, I'm on stage, but after the stage, I have to go do this and I have to go do that. Like just being very in the moment and enjoying what's happening in the present. So yeah.
Thank you for the wisdom. I was inspired by the end of the conversation. I'm always like, Okay, I just started my Monday with y'all. I feel like I'm ready to do this, ready to be an artist. I'm ready to be creative. I'm ready to come to the show on Wednesday, August 10th at 7 p.m. at Guilt & Co. Locals Lounge presents Emerald Osagie, Adewolf, Miguel Maravilla. So I'm very, very grateful to have shared this past hour with all of y'all. It's the beginning of a conversation. I hope that you can tell me how it feels, on Wednesday, seeing each other in person after having this conversation. I'd love to hear your feedback or your impressions or things that could be changed. But from the bottom of my heart, thank you for having this conversation with me. The way I like to end the show, actually, I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna add a little last thing here. Your word of the day. So after this conversation, what's the first word that comes to mind? And then I will close out the little show that we have here. One word or a sentence. One word to describe how you're feeling right now. Miguel, you're nodding. Got a word?
Yeah. I just used it in the last question, but I really love I made a song with it too, but I love the word solace. I think it's kind of like just homey and a bit bittersweet, but yeah, this is what I'm feeling right now from the comfort of this new interaction.
Solace. That's a great word. Adewolf.
Maybe the word is just shine. I feel like it's great to see, Miguel and Emerald, like everyone's just, shining, in such unique ways, and have such unique processes. So yeah, that's definitely something I've taken out of this conversation.
I think mine would be full. Like I feel very full after this conversation and just content. Like I kind of just feel like I had Thanksgiving dinner and like I'm just thriving, enjoying. Yeah, I just feel very full and very happy to be talking to you guys, incredible humans. So yeah.
Well, with that in mind, I'll leave you with those words: solace, shine, full. Thank you for being the stars that you are, part of this constellation, but even beyond this, I hope you have an amazing show. I'm gonna close it out without bias. I just ended up clicking on this. It's called Nutella Kisses. And so hope you have a beautiful day, morning, afternoon.
She got the Nutella kisses. Grant all my wishes. Please don't break me in pieces. Just be my missus. Got the Nutella kisses. Feeling fictitious.